AI Alchemy Hour starts now.
All right, everyone. So today we're going to get a little bit advanced, and what we're going to do is we're going to work on creating Zapier actions, which go along with creating a custom version of your own GPT. And next week we're going to start going over bots and building some bots using Airflow and voice flow. But today we're going to focus pretty much on just GPT actions, just so you guys can see and understand how they work. This is a little bit more advanced, and I am going to go over how to create your own custom GTP again. But then we're going to add the actions part just to make it, just kind of making it all go together, right? And again, GPT actions are still in beta, so they are a little wonky with certain things. And for people that really want to take these to the next level, it's something you definitely want to like kind of look into, because you're also able to put in a program and basically get a programmer to put in code and have these things do things for the code specifically. So we're going to go through it a little bit. I've only done this a few times. I've gotten it to work for a little bit. Like I said, it is a little bit wonky because some of the things like work sporadically. So just bear with me, because like I said, we're building these live, and always on live things, things tend to always break. So we're going to go through it, and hopefully this will make a whole bunch of sense, and we'll go from there. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and let me bring two screens over. All right. And what we're going to do is we are going to bring first our ChatGTP up, because you do need a paid version of ChatGTP to do this. And what we're going to do first is we're going to create our custom GTP for anybody that missed that original kind of lesson that we've had. And then from there, we're going to carry on. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I do have the paid version, like I mentioned before, which is what you need in order to make this work. Continue with Google. There we go. All right. And as you can see, I've got some of these different ones that we kind of created. But the first thing you're going to do is, again, if you have the version, the paid version, you're going to go over to the left-hand side. You're going to go to Explore. When you click on Explore, it already has some pre-made ones where they're all loaded by different people, excuse me. And we, again, a lot of them in here, mocktail, hot mods, all different things that you can do in here. We're going to create a custom GTP. We're going to do a YouTube, basically a YouTube script writer. And that's what we're going to do, because I commonly use YouTube, and we're just going to go ahead and configure. So the first message is, you'll see it right here. Help you build a new GTP. You can say something like, make a creative who helps generate visuals for new products, or make a software engineer who helps format my code. What would you like to make? So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do make YouTube script writer for long form videos on different marketing technology. Okay. Copy. We're going to say writer. All right. It's going to basically create some initial kind of suggestions of everything else. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create GTP actions that are going to write my script into a Google Doc. And then from a Google Doc, will actually email my staff so they can kind of put it together. And if I'm using like Jen, Hey Jen, or any kind of AI written things, this is what's going to go. Script tech writer. Yeah, that works. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and name it, because then it's also going to name it. And it'll also help create, it generates like a pretty cool like image using DALL-E, which is the image generation. And then as you can see, I need a script on video and social media analytics. What should I include about video email marketing? Excuse me. Okay, we could make a script engaging about SEO techniques. No, can you use the YouTube logo? Let's see, because I'm getting picky. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, yes, make one that shows video making. I don't know. We'll see what it comes up with. Just being particular, like again, and by the way, every time you create something on the left, as far as your custom GTPs, you're going to go over to the right and it's going to generate that. And then we're going to give it some instructions. Well, we're going to give it light instructions because we're going to focus today more so on the Zapier actions because it is going to take us a little bit of time to do that and toy around with it. Yeah, that's perfect. Actually, look, and it did use the logo. It just doesn't tell us. Yes, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. And what's cool about this is you can constantly come in and customize them and doing all of that. All right, I'm letting it update all the GTP, update the script, and notice it's already here on the right-hand side. The next thing I'm going to do as soon as this is done is we're going to start going into actions. And I'm going to try to cover this again. This is a little bit more advanced because it just requires a little bit more effort. And I just want to make sure it goes in there. Okay, so now that this is done, I set up the initial. Notice how it comes up with initial questions. I can also, by the way, change those questions. The writer is specialized GTP for creating engaging and informative scripts for long, particularly in the realm of marketing technologies, simplifies complex concepts and broad audience. Perfect. Like beautiful in there. With each script, include title, include a title, YouTube SEO rich description, and possible thumbnail art. Separate the art and separate the arts, the description, and also the title into a different response and ask me if I am ready for it each after you write the script. All right. So first, we're just giving it some good instructions in the way that we're going to do it. And it has all of this. And then I'm actually just going to, it should automatically save up. I got to hit save up on top and anyone with the link. We're going to hit confirm because it's going to be mostly for me. I'm not going to be sharing it, but I do have a team and I want to make sure it's being used. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if it does what it is. See, it includes a title, hook. Okay. It's defining my outline and everything else. We're gonna get this let this run a little bit so we can go with it. All right. Let's see how it goes in here. Now it's writing the outline, which is perfectly fine. I did say to do that. But then I'm going to ask it to write the script and let's see if it generates the art or prompts me about it. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see right here. All right. Would you like to proceed? Yes. So now it will write. Ooh. Okay. It's going to create a thumbnail image, which is going to be pretty cool. But see, the problem with this stuff is that great, I have it, but what if my like tech VA or somebody's doing this for me? Like they're going to have to copy and paste and everything else. I know it sounds kind of like, well, like I don't want to do it, but it's easier to get things into a Google Doc that is shared by everybody that everybody can do it. Actually, that's pretty cool thumbnail. There we go. There's my description. Awesome. I love it. It's doing everything that I asked it to do. And again, all from those simple instructions. Okay, no. So now that that's done, I'm going to go back to my script writer up here. I click on the three little dots. Oh, actually, sorry about that. Not the three little dots, but I come in here and I go to edit GPT. That's a tongue twister for me, so that's going to be great. And now you're going to see that, okay, it's got code interpreter, which allows us to surf the internet, and I can upload like images. Like make believe I have a certain way that I like to write YouTube scripts and I kind of want the directions all there. I can upload those and I can say, please refer to this document in order to do that. Now, I don't have any documents ready for this, but if I had a standard document that I wanted to follow, I would do it in here. Now that's kind of like the basics, right? It just kind of gets the basics up and going. You can now use it as one of your chat GTPs. It says very focused on this particular task, and you don't have to like commingle it with anything else. Now, I'm going to go ahead and create a new action. This is where things get really, really crazy. Now, we have authentication, privacy policy, and import URL, and there's some examples. Like, so for instance, if I wanted to know the weather and I wanted to make this like whether it's a weather app and it's going to check with certain weathers in certain programs, I can actually have JSON and it gives me some code in here that will automatically get it based on whatever URL that I actually send it to. If I wanted to connect to the pet store, it would like go to an API that's the pet store, or whatever it is. It will list all the pets. It will do all this. So there is massive codes you can put in here and then give it directions. But because we're not coders and we really don't understand, I'm going to go to back to blank template for now, or I'm going to delete this. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to go to a site. Now, it took me forever to do this. So I'm going to put this right here. And I'm also going to put it in the chat because I believe like our page, our thing is gonna get us there. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit enter. Yep. All right. So actually it's this. So I'm gonna drop it again. This is the different, Zapier automations, just in case anybody's understanding what Zapier is. Zapier takes the guesswork out of creating and combining APIs. APIs is what ChatGPT is using to communicate with other software. Now, unless you're a coder, you would have to figure out how to converse with the APIs. And sometimes what that is, if the API changes, you would have to keep up with that updated change, and then you would have to go in and modify the code every single time there's an update. Zapier kind of does that already all for us. They have relationships with these bigger companies, and every time they make an update to their software there, 9 times out of 10, the companies will update Zapier and they'll automatically make the connections work. So I use Zapier for a whole bunch of automations. It's actually the secret sauce to a lot of integration between multiple softwares. And I strongly recommend it for anybody that's trying to automate their life, because you could do everything from home automation to funnel automation to email automation to interacting with different sheets. Data is great for Zapier and using all this product. So there's a lot of things that you can do here that can constantly keep you going. Now, this is a bunch of automation examples that you can leverage. And what's really cool is they now have an API, an AI that will actually help write this, what we call a ZAP, right? Which is the communication from one tool to the other. Now, the first thing that you're going to need is you got to go to the actions page, which is a secondary thing that I'm going to send you to. You have to have an account. You have to have at least a paid account. Now you can have a free account, but I got to be honest, within like one time, you're not going to do it. Now, when you log into your Zapier and it's the first time you're using AI actions, you're going to go ahead allow. Now, when you allow it, it's going to open you up to basically allow invalid or not found, which we're going to do now, but that's okay. We're going to get through it. We need to also, where is, there we go. There's one more site that we have to go, which talks about all the Zapier actions and the instructions on how to do it. So let me see if I can include these. Yeah, this is probably the most important one as we speak, because the instructions were a little harder than most. And he goes again, Zapier actions in GPTs enable you to give GPT superpowers with over 20K searches and action across 6,000 apps. Read here for launching them and how it works. You can watch a tutorial. They even have a nice tutorial right here. It's 30 minutes long. By all means, you can have at it. But basically, to narrow it down, the first thing you got to do is you're going to come in here and you are going to highlight this, going to copy it, and you're going to go back to your script, my script writer right here, which again, I'm going to click on my script writer. All right. So I clicked on it. I go to edit GTP. I go to configure. I go all the way to additional settings. Where is it? Oh, there it is. And import URL. I'm going to paste it and I'm going to import. Now, what this does is it imports and writes code that allows it to communicate back and forth with my chat GTP. All right. So I'm going to come in here. Now it says create a chat GTP under actions import. You will see a bunch of text appear on the back button of return to configuring. Copy the instructions template here. This is going to be important. All right. Because these are the rules that you have to give it to the chat GTP. So let me just rewind because that was a little quick. All right. And again, this is like, again, super advanced. Want to make sure. So I went to this site and you know what? Let me again, just paste this link because it is highly confusing. I'm going to come over here. Again, good luck on watching the 30-minute tutorial. I thought it was really hard. But the first thing you do in your, let me just erase everything that we're not going to need. So then we'll reduce the confusion here. All right, we already talked about all the different zaps that are possible. Here's the Loom video. I'll also include that. This is directly from Zapier itself, which I recommend you guys watch. But again, it's very tough. I first went into, and I created my chat GTP. Then I went into configure, and in my configure, I went into the actions part. When I went in here, I went to import from URL, and I copied this link, right click, copy. I came in here, I dropped it in here, and I hit import. Now that this is said and done, okay, I now go back and in my instructions, all right, I'm going to come over here and it says, you will see a bunch of text appear at the back left. Click the back button, return to the configuration screen. Copy the instructions template here. I clicked on the instructions template. This opened up, which is all the way at the bottom. And I'm going to highlight all this. And basically what it's doing is just like it gave it instructions here on what I want, I'm adding additional instructions for custom actions. Now, we are going to go deeper into this. But before we do, there's a couple of other things that we need to do from there. All right, I am now going to go into here and going to keep following my instructions, right? Now, within the instruction set, you will see required actions. Fill in the actions name needed to leverage in there. Option, configure the URL within the instructions template are used by GTP and others to do all that. Now, you've added your new GP options, writing instructions, blah, blah, blah. And then providing configuration URLs, you have to come in here. We're going to copy that again, paste, and you have to be logged in. Now, I have no actions, right? So I'm going to equip my own GTP actions. So you can do either add new action set, all right? And I can search tons of them. And right now, what I want to do is I want to create a Google Doc. Create a document from a template, create a document from text. Well, we're going to do document from text. All right. And it's going to be my account. It's going to be my Google Docs account. Awesome. The document name. Have AI guess this value for this field. Perfect. AI is going to guess all that. And I do want it to go to an account though. Show all options. Yeah, folder. I don't want it going into the root because I don't want to mess up my entire Google Drive folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Google Drive. This is my business Google Drive. So let me go there first, and I'm gonna create a folder that I'm gonna label AI, right? So I'm gonna come over here. It's gonna be AI actions, and we're gonna do script writer. Create. Okay. And we sometimes now this is gonna be specific value. Oh, no options. Okay, let's try it again. All right, let's try clearing it again and again. Like I told you, I want it in a specific folder. So I'm gonna manage access real quick. Okay, no, that's not what I wanted, but let's go back. Because right now I needed to do a certain thing and it's not reconnect. I'm gonna try to reconnect the Zapier account and making sure it's going to everything. And maybe I gotta do an allow again. Oh, something's broken. Oh, so see, there is something wrong with my zaps. Okay, so we have to figure out what is going on here. All right, let's go to my connections. So see, we're working it live. So something's going wrong. One of my connections is not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my apps and I'm going to go over to Google Docs. I'm going to go ahead and reconnect. I don't know what's going on in here. Of course, I picked the one that's having trouble. So, all right, I think it connected. So I'm going to delete and I'm going to start over. By the way, always when in doubt, I'm going to say create Google Doc. Okay, it's going to be document for text. That's my account. That's definitely it. Document name, yeah, that's going to be all there. Show all options. Have set a specific value. Hopefully this will work this time, please. There we go. And I'm going to do AI scriptwriter. And the action name is, we got to make it really, really easy. It's going to be create script. Okay. And we're gonna do, you know what? Let's just make it even easier. And we're gonna do it all. We're gonna do what's called camel case, which is like, I just gotta make sure I spell it right because the way I name it is gonna be very, very important. If I name it something and it's not supposed to, or if I add extra spaces, it could create errors. So no spaces. If you're gonna use camel case, use camel case. The way it has to be written in here is the way it's gotta be in ChatGPT. So I'm gonna come over here, copy. And in my directions, right, I'm going to expand this a little bit. Action, boom, create script. Okay. I'm going to come over here and require preview running AI. No. And I think we're good here. We're going to enable this action. But I want to do another one, right? I want to, after I enable that, I want to send a draft message, create draft email. Oh, let's try that again. Oh, create draft email. Okay. Create draft. Perfect. Nuno, yep, that's my Gmail. Subject, have AI. Subject to, no, this is going to be very specific. Set specific value. This is going to be to my team. So it'll be team at Rapid Active. That's my agency. Body. Yeah, AI is fine. Show all options, BBC from set specific value. It's going to be, Nuno at digital voltage, because that's my business address. Body, AI is going to do all this. None, do not, from, and again, here I'm going to be AI script, AI YouTube script writer, because then I can create a rule inside there and label it. I can even include a label, which I'm not going to do right now. And attach, well, I wonder if I can attach, but we'll leave it like that. And then whoops, let's just go again, show all options. And then here it's send script. Email script. We'll do email script. Email script. Okay. And I think we're good. I'm also going to take this. All right. And here was the hard part that really threw me off. By the way, I'm just going to come over here. All right. And you notice how they have links in here. This took me the longest time to figure out because I'm like, how do I get the address? Because it doesn't naturally give it to you, and I'm going to enable the action. So if I do equip your own GTP with AI actions, let me just see what they add. You see, it didn't. I wanted to see if they maybe possibly improved it. So I have to click on here, and I have to grab the address here. So I'm going to copy it. This is for my creating a draft in Gmail, and then wherever the action name is, the configuration link, I have to put it in here like this. And then if I come in here, go to my other action. So I come in here, this is done. Okay, I have to create the script one. I come in here to the browser bar, I copy it, and now I can come in here and drop it. Right, so no, that's the, darn it. So Control Z, that was the one from before. Okay, and this one, I messed up. I'm going to copy that. That was the first one. So come over here, copy it. Okay. So the first one is to create the script. The other one's to email the script. All right. So close. And what we're going to do is we are going to try to do this. The other thing that needs to happen is the auth. That's the other hard part that took me forever to figure out. And I still think I'm a little shaky on it, but I'm going to hit done. And then in here, additional settings. Okay, auth should be good. I think we'll be good. So we're gonna test. Error maybe. Let's see. Allow. Ah, there we go. Now it's got it. So it's funny, when I hit the test, it actually configured it a little bit better. So I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna go, yeah, there we go. So everything is really working pretty well right now. So we're gonna go again to the actions because that's where it is. If you click in it, we're gonna come back in here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit test one more time. Make sure it doesn't give me some weird debug. Always allow actions in Zapier. I don't understand why that wasn't there. Okay, perfect. Okay, and we're gonna just do this. So you can test it, and actually, it's so smart. Before they didn't have this. It took me forever to figure that part out, but I'm glad it does it now because we're all gonna run into it. So as soon as you write the instructions and you clicked on the actions, make sure you hit the test. You have to be logged into Zapier under your account, and then what it's gonna do is it's just gonna it's just going to confirm all these things and allow you to make sure you're doing the right things and hitting all the confirmations and everything else. Again, very, very good that they added this, because last time. Oh, okay, it has no. Okay, so we're going to hit update, confirm, and we're going to try it. Yeah, this is the hardest part, is not the action links and everything that I showed you, but the other way, the things that we went through it. So like the authentications, just like we did here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save, confirm. Okay. And we are going to go ahead and view the GTP. Write a script for how to use WhatsApp in 24. All right, let's see what happens. So the goal of it being, it's going to run through our please enable. All right, so I don't understand what's happening here. Enable, did I not enable it? Looks pretty enabled to me. Manage access. Okay, it's enabled. Okay, don't know what's happening there, but see, again, this is what I'm saying. It's pretty shaky. Let's go first. Let's just go back over here. I think I have to basically give it instructions to write the script first and then enable it, because I think it's missing that information. So let's go back and edit our GTP and go back to configure and say, once you complete the script and let's make sure we spell right. Script and description and complete the script, description, and thumbnail. Please prompt the Zapier actions. Okay. All right, we're going to see if we can do that again, guys. And I might not be able to get this fully working today. I might have to go troubleshoot. We're going to try it again. Create a script on how to use WhatsApp in 2024. Okay, so now it's writing all this in the preview. It's going over like security, privacy, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's not the best script, but I can go back and give him more context for that. Right now, we're just worried about the actions. Will it prompt me to create a draft in a Google Doc? And then will it do the rest? Let's see. Let's see what happens. It's creating outlines, and I don't want an outline. I want a full. But I can keep going back and modifying the directions. Now, as you can see before, everything that I'm writing, I'm going back in and I'm modifying as I'm doing all this. So I can keep teaching and giving it documents and knowledge bases in order for it to activate the knowledge base even before it gets there. So right now we're limiting on instructions because our main goal is to write this, is to get it to make a draft inside of Google Docs. And then once it's inside of Google Docs to go in there. And now if I can't figure out the authentication piece of it, which is I think what's limiting right now. And right now I think we broke it. Or it's thinking about the image and it's having a hard time with the image. But we're gonna try to figure it out. I might have broken. Oh wow. Um, I don't know, it just kind of froze there. All right, awesome. That's interesting, but okay. I am ready. Now again, the moment of truth is coming right after this description. But the reason why you're doing this and why you would go through all this trouble is again, you can have connections to 6,000 apps as long as it's available inside of your Zapier account, which then in turn creates a much, yeah. Yes. Let's see. This is where it broke last time. Yes. Oh, this would be so cool. Now, the goal of it is if I did it right, we should have a document somewhat created inside of our Google Drive. And then I should have an email in my Gmail waiting to be sent out to my staff. The reason I do draft versus because I always want to oversee what was created before I send it to my team to make it live. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I would do it like I'm doing this, obviously the script needs some work and we need to go back in and kind of give it better directions on writing a much better script. Obviously, if this is long form content, this thing needs to be like way longer than what it is. So but so far it's proceeding okay. It's getting a little hung up on the actions. Now that could be Zapier, that could be a multitude of different reasons. That could be the endpoint not talking right. And you would go back and you would just kind of work through that. But yeah, that's what we're gonna have to work through. It already looks like the actions are pausing a little bit, but we are asking it to do quite a bit. Come on, we got 20 minutes. We can do this. Debug calling. Oh, interesting. Let's say try again. All the permissions are given, so let's try again. It got hung up on the action. Now, we did everything right, right? We managed the access, connected apps, manage actions. These are good. I'm going to hit manage actions again. I mean, it's there. It's saying it is connected, but for some odd reason, it is preventing it from doing that. Um, yeah, it's still hanging up. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's a shame. It's telling me the script is too long. So, it's kind of weird, but I don't know where we would control that either. So I guess there's limitations in how big the script can be. Uh, yeah, that's kind of odd. And the script wasn't really that technically that long. Um, Interesting. So let's go back to the actions. Maybe it's my directions. Let's try again. Test. See, it's talking to it. Oh, so maybe it was just, did it work? Oh, shoot, it did work. So it somewhat worked. It started writing it and it stopped both times and just stopped communicating. So there might be a time limit on it. Um, and let me see. Well, so it technically did what we said it was going to do. In my AI folder, it started writing the video script, but I think because it was a little bit too big, it was just a size limitation. So obviously there's size limitations that need to be addressed, and there's nothing I can do to control it per se. See, there's no size in here. So it's not like I can do more with it. But again, this is one of like a gazillion um actions that you can do. And by the way, if you come in here, there are tons, well, I wouldn't say tons, but a good like one or two demos that you could see right here of a dossier of like the different actions you can do. And it's pretty darn cool. So you can even do a calendar assistant that can help find appointments for you, a dossier of all attendees to your Google Calendar. Like there's a lot of really cool things you can do. And again, you have to watch the tutorials, but not for nothing. It did do what it said it's going to do, obviously in beta stages, but you saw that it automatically created the custom actions. And again, you just have to kind of get through the authorization, which you saw me doing. It was a little difficult. And the only other thing I got to check is whether or not it's actually in my Gmail account. So if I go to my Gmail and I come in here and I'm going to go to my digital voltage one, it probably has two drafts in there, which it tried to write the first and it tried to write the second. So it's going to go to that. Boom. And it tried to attach the scripts, but it wasn't able to do it. So, oh, or did it do it? No, it did not. But the cool thing is that again, the actions are there. You saw how he did it. There is those steps you need to follow. Obviously, it'll get better over time. But there were quite a few steps in there that you have to do. But again, a lot of bugs still. Obviously, you see there's a character limitation that we're probably gonna have to work through and talk to them about like, hey, how do we move from this character limitation? But these are the things that when we get a beta technology that's still coming out, these are the things we have to work with. But the thing of it is the concept behind it, right? You're building a ChatGTP action, and then at the end of it, you're adding things to your ChatGTP that can make it more than just a bot that's answering things back and forth, which will end up being a very cool feature. And the fact that you can make these custom GPTs for whatever you want, and this is not even including knowledge articles that you can add up to 10, and each one can be about 100K. There is the deprecation as the more documents you add because it has to check more things and it's using more memory. But overall, this is very good. in the fact that you have this with your paying membership, and then you can invite other people to use the same one. So if you're running courses, you're you're constantly using ChatGPT and you just want to use a different agents, you can create like 7 of these, one for YouTube script writing, one for copywriting, one for email copywriting, one for newsletter copywriting, and then go bananas with it. So hopefully you guys enjoy this lesson, and we'll see you in the next one.